the issue of the Chinese controlling NGCP. What is their answer? I'd like to have that. The share agreement. What is the share agreement clear? That really there is an agreement that the Chinese will control, because I'm always against the Chinese, especially in the West Philippine Sea, and we don't want them to control the NGCP and transmission in this country. So
Ito na nga, Congressman Rufus Rodriguez sumabog sa galit. Kabubuhan ng ilang leader ng bansa, gulo ang resulta. Pero bago ang lahat, maaari kayong mag-subscribe para maging updated sa mga issue at bagong mga balita. Galit na galit nga si Congressman Rufus Rodriguez, ito'y marahil di umano, palihim nang ibinenta ang bansa sa mga dayuhan ng mga palpak na namumuno. Dagdag pa ni Rodriguez na kung di ito masolusyonan ay babalik tayo sa kasaysayan na kung saan tayo ay alipin ng mga dayuhan. Narito ang buong detalye.
We proceed, Honorable Rufus Rodriguez.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. Could we have the slide on the delayed project, especially Visayas and Mindanao? Can we have the slide here? The next slide, please. The next one. That's it. Go lower, because that is where my island belongs. Where I belong, to that island of Mindanao. Okay. Delays. How about Visayas, Mindanao?
Mindanao.
The last one, huh? Yes. It is way down. Okay. So anyway, can we put that up? Yeah. No. I want everybody to see the last item, because it is
Yes.
covered by the tables and chairs. But for everybody. Yeah.
We cannot,
it's fixed.
move it.
so,
It's fixed.
Okay, so Mindanao has been interconnected with the Visayas last January 2024. My constituents, Cagayan de Oro City, 2nd District, would thank the NGCP for finally connecting Mindanao to the Visayas and to Luzon. Why? Because if we need more energy from Luzon, Visayas, they can give to us. And if we have an excess capacity in Mindanao, we can help Visayas and Luzon. There is a 5-year delay. I know this because of right-of-way problems. First right-of-way that I encountered, the Cebu Golf Club filed a case in the Supreme Court to stop the NGCP from putting lines to Cebu that will go ultimately to Lanao del Norte and then to Cagayan de Oro. And I said, and I was able to come to the press and state, is golf more important than the needs of Mindanao? Everybody scrambled, including Secretary Frasco, calling me and saying, we will ask the golf club to manifest in the Supreme Court that they should now agree and not to stop it. Because if we stop because of the golf course, then certainly our priorities are not in the right places. And indeed, it took about 8 months to be able to proceed with NGCP's lines of transmission going through Cebu and then going to the island of Negros and then going to Lanao del Norte. That's the first one, Mr. Chairman. You know why I know this? Because I am one of the foremost proponents for the interconnection of Mindanao to the rest of the grid. Visayas already has interconnection with Luzon. But why Mindanao is not yet in? Even during the time of President Pinoy, he was in Iligan City. I spoke there that President Pinoy already support the NGCP to make sure that we interconnect Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. So now it's interconnected. And so now there will be many more power generation companies that will come to Mindanao because if we have excess, they can sell it, especially Luzon, who has a very tight supply on energy. Next, Mr. Chairman, that is why we cannot blame NGCP for the delay, at least for the Visayas, Mindanao interconnection. The next problem is Lanao del Norte. Right of way, you cannot just, you cannot just be able to dig and put your transmission lines there because, or put posts there because our Muslim brothers in Lanao del Norte will object. And in fact, they have objected. So what did we do? We were able to talk to the governor and the congressman of Lanao del Norte. It took so much time also because they had to talk with the owners of the properties. And so to be able to put just point, Secretary Garin, my former colleague, to state that it's 5 years delay and we should penalize them and to the ERC to increase the penalties. We have to look at the reasons. And in fact, if we see the reasons for delay, the right-of-ways that could not be immediately be secured, it stops the project. And so that is why, Attorney Malyari, we thank you. Because Mindanao is now interconnected to Visayas and Mindanao. There are more companies that are putting up power generation plants in Mindanao because they can now sell to Luzon and the Visayas if they have excess capacity. And right now, I tell you, because of the development of Mindanao, brought about by President Bongbong Marcos, nakapasok na. So, we expect, if you will see the NEDA report, Region 11 followed by Region 10, there's a lot of companies going there, and therefore there will be a need for more watts and more power companies. And so we cannot, my dear colleague Sharon, who has been, with us, presentations like this looks like, NGCP has not done its job. But let me tell you that based on my personal experience, at least these two right-of-ways problem easily would cause the delay. So what I'm saying here, Mr. Chairman, is let us look at the reasons for the delay. Because NGCP would want to connect all of these grids and all of our consumers because it is for the best interest of the company. They will be able to charge more. And so those are my experiences, and that's why I am here to state that NGCP, as far as Mindanao is concerned, has interconnected us, and we are now doing well in terms of our electricity provisions, our electricity supply, and we are assured that the thing that happened in 1997, 98 will not happen again to Mindanao. And therefore, this is one way that we are saying that there is a reason why there is some delay. And to us, are we trying to dissolve the 50-year franchise of the NGCP? Is that the reason, Mr. Chairman? The BIR, in the hearing of the Ways and Means, clearly stated, NGCP has paid all the tax liabilities of the company by Mr. Romeo Lumagi, that BIR chief. ARC chairman has stated, is that correct, Madam Chair Di Malanta, that you said that there has been a compliance of the tax responsibilities of NGCP?
Mr. Chair, in another hearing po, we confirmed that what we have seen from our records is compliance with the 3% franchise
Yes,
tax.
precisely, that was the issue. NGCP has complied. BIR has complied. Now, why are we here? Why are we going to, try to make it, make the NGCP look bad? Let us hear them, Mr. Chairman. And that is why, Mr. Chairman, you already have the list. And those are the issues. I counted a dozen issues. What you asked them were to submit papers, but let them answer. The ones that you mentioned in the early part of this hearing, the issue of the Chinese controlling NGCP? What is their answer? I'd like to have that. The share agreement. What is the share agreement clear? That really there is an agreement that the Chinese will control because I'm always against the Chinese, especially in the West Philippine Sea. And we don't want them to control the NGCP and transmission in this country. So I would suggest, Mr. Chairman, that the position paper on these issues, you have listed dozen issues. Let them answer directly. You know, submission of documents is okay. But then these are specific issues, and I appreciate the committee in the December 23 hearing that we have identified these issues, and let them submit a position paper to all of us so that we can see, because if there is a violation of that, I'll be the first one to move and file a bill to cancel the NGCP. Just when I filed a bill to suspend the franchise of Cebu Pacific because we were delayed for one day from Cagayan de Oro. And that caused them to really improve. Before, they had only 2 standby planes, Pacific. Now they have 5 because I filed this particular bill to suspend. There has to be, motu proprio, Mr. Chairman, we can do it. But there has to be clear violations that is clear, because under our Constitution, everybody, there should be no deprivation of life, liberty, or property, Article 2, Section 2, without due process of law. And NGCP has property intangible, which is the 50-year franchise. And so therefore, Mr. Chairman, I have said my piece. And so just to answer the report of our dear colleague, Sharon Garin, but let me tell you, us in Mindanao are enjoying the interconnection, delayed, better late than never. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Rufus Rodriguez. At least this motu proprio hearing was called not to make any entity look bad, but for your information, it's just really to try to understand why all these delays are happening, and also for us to see the effect of the delays in the price of electricity, the Honorable Rufus Rodriguez. At least, meron po nagpapasalamat, maski na mag-delay ka ng 6 years, nagpapasalamat si Honor, hindi, 2018 po to eh. 2024, 6 years po yan. And this is, so at least may nagpapasalamat, 6 years delay, nagpapasalamat pa rin si Honorable Rufus Rodriguez. Maraming salamat, Honorable Rufus. But anyway, the Honorable Sharon Garin, you have the floor.
Mr. Chair, I'm supposed to be next, so I can question Yusek Sharon
Kasi,
Garin. Ako na muna.
there was a
This is
question
literally-
raised by the Honorable Rufus, and it was kind of addressing the position of ERC, so I will have to give them a chance to reply. The Honorable Sharon Garin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, that's correct. We're actually, DOE is very grateful that it's connected kasi nababato na yung excess power. But Mr. Chair, just for the information of the body, I'm actually heading a committee in DOE checking why are there delays, and we are very familiar of the problems, whether it's the tree cutting permit or the DNR permit or even the DA for the conversion on DAR. Even for LGUs, there are issues, Mr. Chair. But the issue on the right-of-way, at least, sir, kaya siya nag-privatize, no? Kasi that should be done by the private entity. Now, if your deadline, if your target completion is 2008, then you start your right-of-way before the 2008. Now, the problem in Mindanao, Visayas interconnection was only brought to us, the NGCP, a year ago, na sinasabi na may problem dun sa golf course. Actually, the solution was very simple. Just transfer the towers or transfer the holes. And it was resolved with the interagency. Na-resolve naman siya kaagad. Hindi na pumunta sa korte to yun. But those are problems that can be resolved. it is not in the, hindi naman yan obligasyon ng DOE, but we do go beyond our responsibility para matapos lang kasi everybody wins naman and everybody loses if it doesn't get constructed. Now, the second thing, Mr. Chair, is ang right-of-way issues kasi, we regularly write the Supreme Court to give priority to the cases of NGCP. We've done that, and it has, as you see, there was better progress in these past years. Pero, Mr. Chair, sometimes ang right-of-way nila, mga 5 taon din yung tagal eh. Baka sa, di ko alam paano nila ginagawa sa legal nila, but I don't think in lawyers it takes about 5 years. Now, the third part, Mr. Chair, is the applications eminent domain is under the name of NGCP. It should be under Transco. Kung government kasi yan, iba yung process and faster. So, mangyayari ngayon, there will be a private negotiation pa between NGCP and the landowner. So, that takes time. That's really the part that takes longer. And then the legal process, mas madali na sana yun kasi we can assist, we can certify that this is a project of national significance, and then it will be a faster process. So there are nuances in the franchise and in the concession agreement that can improve. But also there are provisions that are already there that kung sundin lang ng NGCP, siguro mas mabilis yung right-of-way process natin. But yes, again, we are quite thankful for NGCP for finishing it kahit delayed man siya, basta natapos lang. Although it had a major impact on the...
Mr. Chair.
Very much the Honorable.
Mr. Chair.
The Chair recognizes the Senior Deputy Speaker, the Honorable Don Gonzales Jr. of the 3rd District of Pampanga. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Chairman.
And from the 2nd District of Antipolo City, the Honorable Romy Acop. Welcome. And of course, si Ramon Rodriguez Gutierrez of One Rider. Welcome, Rog. We now proceed to the next speaker, the Honorable Presley.
Mr. Chair,
the Honorable